Hey guys, what is going on? Randall419, the man with the million, bringing you another video. This time I wanted to talk about a subject that we broached on TXR on Monday. Shameless plug. I'm the host of the TXR podcast. Link is in the description of the video. I think it's an absolutely fantastic podcast. Check it out if you got the time. You won't be disappointed. We got a lot of good gamers on the panel that are very knowledgeable about video games. And one of the topics we talked about was, the evolution of DLC, season passes, things like that, right? And we talked about it because Rainbow Six Siege, which is one of my favorite games from last year, is confirmed. You can get it on PlayStation Store, you can get it on the Xbox Live Store right now, to have a second season, season pass part 2. Now, when I was thinking about it, I was having a tough time thinking about games that had a second season pass. Most games, they come out, you buy them for $60. There's a season pass, usually with like 3 to 4 things of extra content, and once that's done, it's over. There's no more content, mainly because the team is working on the next game. But it seems like that has kind of changed recently, right? So with the second season pass, you get like, what is it? I believe it's 8 new operators. There's gonna be 4 free maps. It's the same as like the first one, but I was racking my brain. I'm like, what other game has done this? And the only other game that has like a thing similar to this is Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct came out. It had Season 1, and then it had Season 2, and it finally had Season 3. But I think that was more along the lines of the League of Legends Dota business model, where the characters were, they sold them individually for $5, and then you can buy them. But either way, it kind of had 3 seasons, and who knows what they're doing with Killer Instinct after that. But DLC and Season Passes are an important revenue driver for the industry. I just did a video about if Gears of War was a sales failure, and I talked about the loot boxes and Gears and things like that, and how they help affect the bottom line. Let's talk about this, right? Like, Ubisoft themselves has gone on record saying that moving forward, every one of their games will somehow ape or mimic the Rainbow Six Siege DLC model. Every single one of their games. They're no longer going to be like the previous models, like the Far Cry, because Far Cry had a season pass. Even Division had like an expansion pass. But they came out and said, because of how successful Rainbow Six Siege is, that every one of their games moving forward will have feature a similar season pass, which is very, very interesting news when you think about it. Ubisoft is a gigantic company. They make lots of games, right? And for them to say that, like, going forward, every single one of their games will have a pass that is similar to Rainbow Six should tell you how successful Rainbow Six Siege was. I'll repeat it. I already know this, but for those of you who don't know, like, every time there's new content that comes out in Rainbow Six Siege, and it's not every month, right? It's every few months. They always post about how there's more people playing Rainbow Six Siege at that particular time. Like right now, the new Chinese update came out with the new 2 Chinese operators and a new map that everybody can play on. But they always say that when the new content comes out, more people are playing it than the previous content, or even at launch. I mean, they've gone on record saying that more people are playing Rainbow Six Siege now than when the game originally launched. And that is remarkable when you think about it in the AAA space. Most AAA games, they get the majority of their, the user base plays at the majority like that first week, that first month, and then it's a steadily declining. It's a slope that goes downward. And a lot of publishers use DLC and season passes to try to, uptick it, to get that population back, to get that population energized. And I wanted to kind of like broach this video, like, what is going to be the future of DLC? Which approach is the best? Because you have Rainbow Six's approach with their DLC, but then yet you have the other type of, you have the Call of Duty approach where they strictly sell you a season pass, and there's 4 map packs throughout the year, right? There's that, and then the other approach is the Halo Gears Uncharted approach. Microsoft started doing Halo 5. With Halo 5, they started doing monthly updates, right? Like, so every month there'd be like a new map or maybe a new mode with new unlockables in the rec system, which is usually cosmetic stuff or new weapons, right? And with Gears of War that just came out, they added, they're saying like you're gonna have 2 maps free every single month in rotation, of course, so you don't get overwhelmed. And for a whole year, so they'll have 24 maps, 2 maps a month, and if you have the season pass, you can play like early in the dev playlist and yada yada yada, right? Like I've gone on how I've talked about how I thought the Gears season pass was a pile of, well, dog shit, but it's one of the worst season passes ever. But still, the idea is that these companies, it's no longer just re-release game's out, people buy a game, and that's it. Or even like from last gen, where re-release game, DLC's out, buy it, and that's it. There's no more engagement. Everybody is fighting for your time and your money. It's now you release game and you curate the content so you can please the user base, so you keep those people playing those games all the time. You don't want your people leaving. Before it was like, okay, you bought Halo 3, but then Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out. Okay, they were fine if you were leaving to go play Call of Duty Modern Warfare or vice versa. It didn't matter because they got your money up front. Nowadays, there's so many options everywhere. You have Xbox, you got PlayStation, you have Steam, and there's so many different choices, and not to mention like League of Legends and Dota and Counter-Strike Go. There's so many options for gamers that they're fighting for your time. It's not enough anymore, and this goes to how expensive games are to make, right? That these people want you playing their games all the time instead of somebody else's. And the question is, how do you do that, right? Ubisoft says, we do it the Rainbow Six Siege way. We have a season pass. It's $30. You get some extra stuff. You don't have to spend your renown, which is the in-game stuff you earn to unlock. You get it right away. You get a week early access. But they make it an event, okay? It's not every month, it's every few months. And things change. The meta of the game changes, right? A character that was not very good in the previous update is now very good. Like, for instance, at one point, Pulse was useless, and then one update, Pulse became amazing. Same thing with Doc. Doc was useless. Doc became amazing. The meta changes. Characters get nerfed. Guns get nerfed. Things change. It's a big event. And every time they do this, the numbers for the game increase. People are playing it. And look at Division. Ubisoft just came out and said the Division, they spent a lot of time fixing it. There are more people playing Division than there were at launch, which is a huge number because that game sold a lot. So you have Ubisoft's line of thinking, right? But then if you go and look at, like, say, Call of Duty's line of thinking or Activision, they're strictly the old business model. They're just going to sell you the season pass for just 1 year, whereas Rainbow is now 2 years, and they want you they sell you the pass for the 4 map packs and all the microtransactions in there, because Call of Duty is a yearly franchise, right? Essentially, it's disposable after 1 year, so they don't only want to support it for 1 year. So that's them, and we've seen the sales for Infinite Warfare are down 50%, even though I thought it was a great game. You can check out my review for that. But then let's look at the other side, the other way of these people doing it, like Microsoft and Sony. Microsoft has Halo, so every month Halo puts out new content, and like I said before, Gears put out new content because they believe that by putting out monthly free content, that it'll put Gears or Halo back in the user Uncharted, because Sony does it for Uncharted too. That by doing that, they'll get, Halo and Gears will be in the news every month, and because it's free content, they'll bring the users back, and if they come back, they might get re-addicted to it, and they might spend more money on the rec packs and the gear packs and things like that. So the question is, which one of these models is the best? Is the Rainbow model the best? Is the Halo/Gears model the best? Is the Call of Duty model the best? And I'm going to say right off the bat, in my opinion, I think the Call of Duty model is passé. I think it's done for. I think in a couple years, Call of Duty will stop that model. They've been doing it for so long, and they have so many studios involved in it. I think it's a hard process for them to stop. But I think when they see the success that Rainbow's had, that even Overwatch does it, that I think they'll move to a more model like Rainbow than, say, Halo. And I'm not even sure like, I have no qualms with the Halo Gears model either. I mean, weekly content or monthly content is absolutely fantastic. You know, considering it's supported by, you know, the microtransaction system, which all these games have now, like Rainbow Six. You know, it has, you can buy all these customization options for all these characters. It gets expensive, but hey, that's where the money is in. Like, everybody gets the free maps, you know, but you might have to wait a week to buy the operators. So this is a big question for the industry going forward, because you see a lot of these games popping up. Overwatch, extremely successful, right? And they offer new characters and new maps, but it's not monthly. They take their time. I think there's something to be said for that, right? Where if it's monthly, like Halo and Gears, it's to be expected, right? Oh, it's every month. What's there to really get excited about? You know, maybe the first month you get excited, but every month after that is like, are they actually putting out the best they can put out because they have to do it every month, or are they just fulfilling a promise? So I don't know if that's necessarily the best. I mean, I don't really go back to Halo or you know, Gears. I know people was like, well, Rand, you would if it had achievements. Yes, I probably would. But I think the way to energize a user base is the way to do it like Rainbow does, is to make these things an event. Like, Rainbow has 4 like drops a year, right? Instead of like Halo or Gears is 12. So by that, you know, just thinking about that, those 4 drops, they're more important because they've been working on it for longer. They're trying to do more things. It gets you know, it seems like it's worth the wait. Whereas like Halo or Gears, it's just they're just doing this because they have to. I mean, I think the first 2 maps they did for Gears were just remakes of old maps. And that's what you're going to have to do, because you can't really create brand new, spanking new content if you're under the gun of, I need to get this out right now, this month. And most of the Halo, I mean, to be honest, like, most of the Halo stuff were just rec pack things, and if you know, weren't playing Halo, you were never going to see that stuff anyways. But it's always cool to get a free map, you know, here and there, but what is the best way for these publishers and these developers to drive, you know, excitement in their communities? That's the big question here. Which one of these ways would you rather see your favorite franchise, you know, go? And I want you guys to, like, say in the comments, like, what do you think is the best? Is the Rainbow model the best, where you have season passes and a couple drops a year to get people really excited? Is the Halo model the best, the Halo Gears model, where it's free, like, maps every, you know, like every month, supported by microtransactions and things like that? Or is the old Call of Duty model, where it's like, here's the season pass and it's over because Call of Duty is disposable after 1 year? I mean, what do you think? You know, what do you like? What do you prefer? And what do you think the future holds? Because I think this is a really interesting topic, because these AAA games are all going to follow one of those paths. And it's interesting to see which ones, you know, they all go towards. So, hope you guys liked the video. Be putting up daily content. I got another video planned for tomorrow, which should be a good one. If you liked the video, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing for the channel for more daily content. Hope you all have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Later.